Hey there guys, welcome back to Let's Play Persona 5. Last time, we fought against the Holy Grail of all things, which, now that I had a little bit more time to process it, it makes a lot more sense. I do think that the Japanese developers may overestimate how much people believe in the Holy Grail, but still, if it's a symbol of hope and it's something that people think will make their dreams come true, the Holy Grail makes sense. It's obviously not the literal Holy Grail, but it's an embodiment of hope, and it's what everyone thinks will make their lives better. And to a certain degree, it's an embodiment. Faith is the idea that things will be better at some point in the future. And if you continue to toil and work, you will eventually get to a point in your life where things will be improved. And that's good. That's kind of what this... I shouldn't say that's good, as in... it's good that people believe this thing that isn't true. Oh man, I'm going to lose so many subs over this. But, faith is always the... suffer now, get rewarded later once you die thing. Shit. Going in. Hey there guys, welcome back to Let's Play Persona 5. Holy crap, last episode. I'm cheating right now. I actually just finished recording last episode about an hour ago, and now I'm recording the next one because I do not want to stop playing this game. Holy crap. So, pseudo-apologies for that. But, last episode, we kind of had the end of the world, and we had... I actually really like this creature's ability. At the end of every Persona game is an attempted fusion between the shadow world and the real world. At the end of Persona 3, you had Tartarus move into the real world, and the shadows that dwelt in the hearts of people came to life and just, exploded out of people's bodies. Persona 4, the fog moved in and brought monsters with it. Here, it's the collective will of society begins to affect the world, and because the society was no longer believing in the Phantom Thieves simply ceased to be. It was a world that exists as a, magical democracy where the will of everyone is all that mattered, and the individuality was stamped out. And when I first ran into the Holy Grail, I didn't really like it. I was like, really, the Holy Grail? But as a symbol of, a thing that embodies hope, it makes sense. It's just sort of a vague... faith as a whole is kind of this idea of, well, if you're a good person, you will eventually be rewarded. And so there's way too many people that take the religion a little bit too seriously, I think, that they end up believing that they don't try and improve what they're doing, because they almost... a lot of religions kind of really glorify suffering in this world in order for reward in the next, instead of trying to make this world as good as can be. And I don't think that's a problem with religion overall, but I do think that's a problem with a lot of mantras end up benefiting the few and telling the masses that their benefit comes after death. And I very strongly disagree with that. But anyway, Igor.
It appears I have underestimated you.
You can't underestimate me if your rehabilitation fails. I mean, first of all, I still don't fully know what I'm being rehabilitated from, but secondly, whenever a person fails to be rehabilitated, it's generally a problem with the program, not a problem with the person. Yeah, what? Now, where do my teammates go? Don't laugh at me!
You incompetent prisoner!
Caroline, be nice.
The assistance that we provided was all for naught.
Humans are more apathetic and more foolish than I had thought them to be.
To a certain degree, this makes sense. Because we keep on having situations where the apathy of mankind invites disaster, and it's only through a, you know, powerful persona user that's able to unite the hearts of those around him that fights away that apathy. And if that's the case, then yeah, Kaizen did sort of fail. He was not able to live up to his predecessors.
The world will soon see its ruin. You have lost the game.
I'm sorry?
You were meant to bring change to mankind as a trickster, but it seems that was too much for you.
Well, it was because I wasn't allowed to attack the tendrils. You can't blame me, man. I didn't do it.
In accordance to the game's rules, the defeated must pay a price.
You can't just start inventing rules now.
Your life is forfeit.
Well, I'm kind of already dead. That's not much of a threat.
I sentence you to be executed.
What? Are you going to fuse me with something now? I mean, this whole thing happened whenever Mementos fused with the real world, so maybe I'll fuse with, I don't know, Arsene? Wow, Caroline was not expecting that.
Executed?
God's decree is absolute.
Now that's a very un-Igor-like thing to say. Igor is a lot more, you know, before he was all... Igor has always been like, you must accept the consequences of the decisions you make, but he's never taken on the role of an executor or, you know, trying to uphold the decree of a greater being. It's his role was always to empower the special, you know, the unique amongst humanity.
My experiment has come to naught. Everything is over.
Igor's never been the one that's experimenting either.
Grant that man a swift death.
If that's what our master wishes.
Are you freaking serious, man?
It just means that you weren't an upstanding prisoner.
Caroline is struggling with this too because I actually maxed her social link. I wonder if this exchange would happen differently if I hadn't maxed her social link.
That may be true, but...
What is the matter? Carry out his sentence at once.
Are we really going to kill him?
I mean, I want to be bravado-y and say you guys can try, but if these twins are anything like the other Velvet attendants, they would totally win.
Don't falter now! It's all his fault for losing the game!
Damn!
All right, inmate. We now proceed to the execution of your sentence.
I can't die yet. What is that? Why am I...
How insolent. To think you'd still show your rebellious will after all that.
Well, it is what you kind of trained me to be, isn't it?
Ready, Justine? If our master orders so, then it cannot be helped. Let us show our strength to this prisoner who just doesn't know when to give up.
Hey, that's my, like, character trait. Don't know when to give up.
Understood.
This is awesome. I didn't actually think that I have to fight the twins.
Death to the criminal.
Whoa.
Don't resist, inmate. Just accept your sentence.
Igor stood up. I didn't know he could do that. I've never seen him stand before.
One's final moments should be spent in good grace.
I can't move.
Eat this.
Why can't I move?
This power. Caroline, it's as I thought.
What's the matter?
I told you not to falter. Are you going against our master's orders?
So I think she might end up doing that.
How's this?
Why can't I move?
This.
I don't seem to be dying.
No, this isn't right.
Is it Futaba's last stand?
Our duty isn't to kill him. Caroline! What gives? Why am I doubting myself?
Because you know what you're actually meant for, and you realize, and that's as a thing, because the Velvet Attendants also, that's kind of why Elizabeth left, was because she wanted to take a more active role, and the Velvet Attendants aren't supposed to.
Is there another duty left to us?
I believe I ordered his execution.
And Igor is super bloodthirsty for some reason.
Master? Have you forsaken humanity?
Yeah, that's and on the one hand, it makes sense that Igor might grow over time, but it still seems very unusual for him to do so. I don't know where this facet of his personality came from, and why all of a sudden he's just choosing. Plus, he's got a super passive role in this game.
We are wardens, those who rehabilitate prisoners.
What?
Something speaks to me in my mind. Our true duty is not to kill.
That's called your brain, Justine.
Help!
Who? What? Yeah, that is not a voice I recognize at all.
Please, help!
Oh, is that, Philemon's butterfly? I don't feel like I've heard that before.
Who? Yes, we are those who wish for true rehabilitation.
Who is that? It does actually sound very slightly familiar. Is that Marie?
We are not executioners. That is the truth we had forgotten.
Obviously not. You actually know when all of her Persona stuff they were executing, and I actually thought that was very brutal and gruesome and not really normal.
We've decided. We will not forsake humanity.
Caroline's voice seems slightly deeper.
Your right eye and my left.
I always wondered about that, why they had opposite eyes that were covered.
It's as if they're the same, yet mirrored.
The hell?
Now is the time for our wish to be realized. I finally remember how we were torn apart.
So was that girl in the middle the actual person? And then, is that why their memory is so foggy? Is because someone ripped the individual apart, and that's why they have spotty memory? Oh, that's about torn apart, even though I think I know where they're going with this.
We were originally one.
That's what we just saw the one.
Yet we were torn asunder into halves by malevolent intent.
Oh, is that why they're so much shorter than the normal attendants?
So we were captives, same as you. Ha! To think we'd learn that truth from a prisoner. Let us reclaim our true form.
Are they gonna, like, Super Saiyan merge now?
Hey! We'll give you your last job. Be thankful and obey. You must fuse us together with your own hands.
How do I do that?
It's time you return the favor for us assisting with your growth. Do it with care.
I've got to wonder, why is Igor just standing there through this? Like, because he certainly seems to be malevolent, Igor, but he's just, like, watching this happen.
Now, fuse us!
Do I have to execute you two? God damn, I do. I was kind of kidding. How's it feel? How many shadows did you put through this? They didn't struggle at all, though. They just sat there. And the butterflies! That's awesome! Hello, butterflies! Oh, I like the little butterfly, like, thing at the side of her head, although it almost reminds me of Igor. The little, headdress thing.
My name is Lavenza.
Lavenza? Everyone else had such a normal name. Elizabeth, Margaret, Caroline, Justine. Lavenza doesn't even seem like a real name.
I was torn apart by a malevolent will and took the form of those twins. I sought help before my body was split in two.
Are you the one that sent Moda to find me? Yeah, are you talking about Igor? Because that doesn't make sense, though, because Igor just now turned against humanity, so it's not like he would have done that.
If we lose you, the path to the Holy Grail will forever be closed. That's why you must recall the truth once more.
Oh, I vaguely do remember. Man, that's a long time ago. This is one of the problems when you play games for 30 minutes a day.
And I beg of you, please, save us. I believed in you. I knew that you would make it thus far.
Well, that's certainly not why the twins were so short, because she's just as short as they were. I thought maybe she was a full person that turned into two half-people.
And to the scoundrel who has swindled my master's name, your lies shall work no longer now that my sight has been restored.
So that's not actually Igor. That certainly makes a lot more sense on why Igor was turning so hateful and seemed so not himself.
The game isn't over yet. Whether the human world is left as is, or destroyed and rebuilt, it is all sport to me.
So who the hell would be able to take over the Velvet Room? Like, this seemed the most secure location in the Persona universe. You know, and what the hell have Margaret and Theodore been doing this whole time? Because they should still exist, like, in the... You know, I always thought that the attendant that you run into is based on your psyche, but it's not like Margaret ceases to exist just because you're not in the room. Elizabeth, okay, Elizabeth has a reason not to be in here and see this is happening, but Margaret and Theodore should still be here.
Be careful.
If I were to put it into words that you can comprehend, I am the Holy Grail that grants wishes.
Wait, you're the Holy Grail? So... Well, I mean, that kind of explains why Igor was so disappointed whenever we decided to go after the Heart of Mementos, if he is the Holy Grail. But why is he in here? What is his goal? I mean... It feels like if he had done nothing, then he would have succeeded, but he enabled me the entire way and then tried to turn me right at the end.
No, it may be more accurate to say that I am a god who responds to desire and holds dominion over man. I hoped seeing a righteous thief vanquish evil would spur mankind to change their own indolent hearts.
So, in what I understanding then, is that the Holy Grail doesn't necessarily have a choice, it just responds to the wishes of man, and so it took Igor's role in order to try and build me into a role model to change the path mankind was on, but when I failed, he's just like, well, fuck it, man wants to die, okay.
However, the result is, as you know, the masses have made it so none of it has transpired. Humans should be met with ruin. You brought forth that answer.
That's actually a really cool, like, it's similar to Nyx, but it's a really cool outlook where he's not evil, and he doesn't want to destroy it. In fact, if anything, he wants to not to, but he tried to change it, he couldn't, he said, okay, well then, man is determined. I actually really like that he's not I mean, he's kind of vindictive. I still don't understand why he took over Igor's role, or how he did so, or where Igor actually went. Oh my god, if he fucking killed Igor, I don't even care how much I respect him.
But to be frank, inmate, I believe it may be worth re-evaluating you.
Well, you're kind of not on the highest of my esteem list at the moment, just so you know.
A human has reached the Holy Grail and has seen through my true identity.
And I didn't even need the lens of truth.
You've surprised the god that I am often enough. That cannot be done by a foolish commoner. You truly were a prisoner that did not fool me.
Well, yay! I'm glad for your approval.
I am thou. Thou art I.
Okay, it's really weird to have Justine saying this after Justine stopped existing.
Thy bond shall become the wings of rebellion and break the yoke of thy heart. Thou hast awakened the ultimate secret of the fool, granting...
I'm really glad this
infinite
happened.
power.
I've been waiting for this to make my final personas. Because I looked ahead and saw greatly increase the XP bonus granted by Arcane Boost. I'm like, I need to wait until I can get the highest level persona I can.
Alright. Alright.
Vishnu?
Perhaps observing you a while longer may prove amusing. I shall grant you an opportunity to make a deal with me.
Is this a literal deal with the devil then? Because he certainly isn't seeming very saintly at the moment. Although actually I don't know, because the Holy Grail was certainly defended by a lot of angels, so I doubt he's the devil. Oh. Okay, what is the deal?
Should you wish it, I shall return the world to its prior state, one rampant with distorted masses.
You forcefully dragged him into the metaverse and imposed an ordeal he did not deserve.
Well, this is a chance to save the world, though.
Yet you still intend on toying with him?
The phantom thieves will be praised and gain fame. The world will escape ruin as well.
I mean, that sounds okay, except won't it just inexorably return to where it is right now?
What say you?
The ruined city will return to normal. People will remain trapped, abandoning their ability to think for themselves. Yeah, I mean, here's the problem. I don't exist in the real world, so if I say no, I'm not sure that I can go forward. But yet, we've walked down that road, we know where it leads. It leads here. If I'm going to have a chance, I need to, as the real Igor would say, accept the consequences of my actions.
Well said.
Such irredeemable foolishness. You choose death for yourself? Very well. I have no need for you.
Master!
Is that the real Igor then? So, just was Igor... Actually, is he dead? Okay, good. The hell is that?
Oh my. It's been quite a while since I last stepped foot in this place.
Okay, what the actual fuck? Like, I now know why the other Igor didn't talk with the normal voice, but why isn't this one not? The English voice actor is still alive.
Welcome to the Velvet Room.
I mean, he's closer to the old Igor, but he's still not the old Igor.
My name is Igor. I am pleased to make your acquaintance.
He is the rightful master of this Velvet Room, the true aid on your journey.
Yeah, I'm sure he would be.
It may be difficult for you to understand this all at once.
If I were to summarize this, the fake has left, and the real has returned.
How did he get rid of Igor, though? Igor, like, I don't know how strong Igor actually is. Igor's never fought. But the attendants should be able to handle damn near anything that walks through that door. Like the final boss of Persona 3, Elizabeth soloed.
Indeed.
My My master has returned, and you won against that malevolent god's temptation.
Apparently that was the right choice then. I kinda figured it had to be.
Thus, you may be able to save this world that is headed towards certain ruin.
That's my intention.
However, it will prove difficult to win against him with your power alone. You must release your teammates, with whom you've shared your conviction.
Absolutely, I would love to do that. Are they in these other cells? Because I can't help but notice that the cells are numbered. And I came from cell 0 because I am the fool.
This place exists between dream and reality, mind and matter.
You see, you could have just used the original voice line for that one. Come on, guys.
They have not necessarily expired yet. Just as you were trapped here, they should be confined somewhere as well. Since you've deepened your bond with them, I am certain you can release them.
Dude, does that mean that there's a possibility you could get to this point and only have certain teammates to pick from? I mean, like, I got all of them, but...
Once they, the Phantom Thieves, are all gathered here, we will tell you everything.
Now go forth, to the people whom you should be facing the truth with.
Oh, wow, this is... So, that is my... This is certainly a... Okay, just have to run around and find them all. Joker? What a you're safe! Huh? By the way, why have you remained in your Phantom Thief attire while I'm back in regular clothes? Could this mean the will of rebellion is no longer within me? That may be true. We have to fight the Holy Grail again, correct? Could you imagine defeating it? That monster has the support of the masses, and with it nearly infinite power. Hey, every time I maximize a social link, I also gain infinite power. No matter which way I approach the subject by hit, nothing points to our victory. I think I finally, genuinely understand the pain my father and sister were burdened with. Victory against a single criminal is meaningless. The true enemy is society itself. And even against that foe, you still have to try and somehow emerge victorious. I don't know what to do. At the end of... I know I said this already, but... The road that we have in front of us is impossibly long and impossibly hard. But you can't let the fact that you can't see the end prevent you from starting. Belief in myself. Huh. Well, you got me.
You're right.
Regardless, this isn't a situation with a straightforward answer. But if there's no clear solution, I'll just have to make one with my own two hands. Before you guys came along, my life was defined by rules, set on the path of someone else's choosing. But only a true loser would live such a rigid life. I will win. Even if it means going against the entire world.
I'm very sorry.
I'm okay. My resolve was shaken, but it's much stronger now. I want the people of the world to see what you've shown me. Let's do this. Right.
Thank you.
Having
teammates you can trust is a great feeling. Shall we go? We can't let our last big job end in failure.
Wait, who says this is the last one? I've heard we have a dance-off coming up.
Hey,
Is everyone else locked up in this place as well?
I see.
Then could it be they're all in the same state I was earlier? Joker, there's too many shells around here. I'll wait somewhere nearby. In the meantime, I ask you save everyone else. Absolutely.
Yes.
We've still got 6 to go. Why is it best that I go alone? That makes no sense. Nope. Just kidding.
It's you.
Joker. As I expected, you appear to be safe. However, where exactly are we? Velvet room. I'm not sure I understand. We shouldn't ask the question if you're not going to understand the answer. Come on, Yusuke! At first, I was surprised to see the masses chained in a prison. And yet, here I am as well. Considering the state of the real world, it was hard to say that we were even remotely helpful. Yeah, that's... I also really appreciate that what we did for most of the game, you know, it's one thing to have most games where you, like, fight your way up to the one who's really in charge, and so the final boss is the final boss because beating him is the one that actually makes change happen. But in this one, it's done so much better because really and truly, the battles we've done up until now become as nothing compared to the Grail. The Grail is the one holding the entire world in sway, apparently. Or even, it's not even that, because the Grail, it's the world leading the Grail, but it's this weird symbiotic relationship where the Grail fulfills the most indolent desires, and so the lack of... If you have nothing that you have to work towards, then you just become discontent and you have nothing to work for. You know, it's the problem of being fulfilled without challenge. And so people will stop challenging themselves. The situation. Can we truly handle such horrid circumstances? All the Phantom Thieves can do is change the hearts of others. The world outside has become a veritable hell. Nothing in our power can change that. I'm merely acknowledging how powerless I am. The people of this world desired their enslavement. That isn't all. They screamed at us for attacking the Holy Grail, defended it. Even the criminals whose hearts we changed became meek followers of the Grail because of us. Were we truly foolish, risking our lives for a result nobody desired? Well, what were you fighting for, man?
Do you mean...
That's right. It wasn't just for recognition from those who we were helping. My purpose lies elsewhere. When we first met, you continued to impose yourself on me no matter how much I pushed you away. I'll forever treasure what you did for me. Very well. Just as art has been to break boundaries, people should be saved even if they frown upon it.
Okay.
I won't allow the justice I believe in to be shaken any further.
I'm in your debt.
Allow me to thank you, Joker. Being by your side truly gives rise to the greatest ideas.
Yes.
We cannot afford to leave reality in the hellish state it's currently in. I will make use of my role as an artist and paint over the distortions of society. Hey, no. Your role as an artist isn't to obfuscate the problems. It is to shine a light upon them and allow us to address them directly.
Well then, time to go and see this through. I'll witness with my own 2 eyes that this world isn't bound by some holy grail. Well then.
Are the others here as well? I see. As I thought.
We will be counting on you.
I'll remain here on standby as you go and save the rest of our teammates. So there's probably 4 down here and 2 upstairs. Or maybe all 6, because there is this passage up here. Hello, An.
Oh,
Joker! Thank goodness you're safe. I feel like I already had this conversation with, Oh, yeah! Huh. So I'm not in... You thought this was heaven? That means the hell that Shibuya turned into was all real. I'm so weak. When I thought I was gonna die, I just started trembling. I was just so scared. At that moment, nothing mattered. The justice of our actions was the last thing in my mind. Joker, you kept going, even though through a plan that might have ended up killing you. Yet look, I've always said I'm doing this for other people, but that sure didn't get me very far. It's no wonder we lost. Maybe I should have just stayed behind myself, behaved myself, and stayed out of all of this. Yeah, what about Shiho? That's... You're right. I could never abandon her. If I whine like this now, I'd just be betraying Shiho. No, even worse, I'd be betraying myself. I could never forget how I felt that day. I never want anyone to go through what I had to go through. I've made up my mind. I'm gonna keep looking forward, both eyes open. Things like dying or losing, those aren't important now. All that matters is I don't return to my old self. I'll never make a mistake like that again. I swear it. I think she may have the best one so far.
seriously, thank you.
Thanks, Joker. You helped me remember what's really important. I seriously treasure being able to be a part of your team. Gotcha. It'd be a disgrace to the Ideal Desire name if we didn't take such a big treasure.
We're going to put an end to this, aren't we? Let's go! Hey!
I'm not the only one in here, right? Oh. I'll wait here.
Hey.
Go save everyone else. It's something only you can... Why? Why is it something only I can do? That makes no sense. So there's 7, and I see where 6 of them are going to be. I bet Mona is going to end up somewhere kind of weird and awkward and not usual.
My.
You are safe. Oh, thank goodness. Same to you. Right. Considering everything that has happened in the city, I wonder if the citizenry is okay. Although, it seemed like we were the only ones able to see it. You know, the moment I disappeared, I honestly thought I was about to die. But there's a part of me that wasn't afraid. I knew that it was all I could do, and looked forward to apologizing to Father, face to face. Honestly, I thought I had changed, but I realize now that I still have no control over my life. It makes me sick. I'm sorry. I know you don't want to keep dealing with my whining. You're gonna try and defeat that thing again, aren't you? Don't push yourself and get me to come along. You can always leave me here if I slow you down. You control your own life now, Haru. That's right. I was foolish to think you should abandon me. Even if there are times where I think there's nothing I can do, I'll never stop fighting for you or our team. I won't give up on anyone.
This is exactly what we're hoping for.
Just as I betrayed my distorted father before, I will betray my bordering former self now. I like this scene. This is actually way better than the, oh, you're about to die, but all of your social links come back and say nice things to you. Before I met you, I had a great admiration for the Phantom Thieves of Justice. And it turned out you were exactly the person I always imagined you would be.
This is the second time you've rescued me.
Well, I do good work.
I've secretly longed for a situation like this.
Oh. Break time's over.
We haven't lost yet.
The others here too? I see. I'm glad. In that case, please go help them. I'm sure that I just need a little push to remember what they're fighting for. That's why you should get me... What? That doesn't make any... Why me alone? I mean, I know the real reasons, because these, like, conversations were coded to be, you know, just for me there, because I didn't know what order I would hit people in, but... Ryuji. So, Futaba's last, except for Mona. Looks like we both somehow still alive and kicking. But, where at? Huh? Velvet? Man, this prison cell kind of makes me think of when we first met. Remember how Shibuya was all effed up just now? But, like, no one was seeing any of it. No, it was more like they didn't want to see any of it. What the hell, man? So, even all them people that were suffering and cheering for us, come to help them? In reality, they'd rather just have everything stay how it was? That's actually a really good point, because if everyone just wants the status quo, why were the Phantom Thieves requested so amazingly often? Like, the board was blowing up. Did what we were doing have any meaning at all? You're so freaking tough. You know, back when I thought we were going to die without learning the truth about all this, I kind of felt, for the first time, that maybe we hadn't been doing the right thing. That maybe we deserve to lose. Like, this is... I'm actually glad that they're confronting this directly, because one of my quasi-complaints with Persona 4 was that the end of the game was basically like, the entire will of humanity wants this, and then these people are like, well, we don't, screw you. But here it's a... I mean, it's basically the same premise, but they're actually addressing it much more of a... They're seriously tackling the idea of, do we have the right to stand in the way of the masses? Yes, we do, because our desires are also relevant. You get me? Now I'm starting to think about... Started all this because of how pissed off I was. Maybe it's never been about winning or anything like that. Maybe all I was doing was just continuing my own defiance.
Huh?
Kaizen.
I see.
You're right. I get it now. We're doing this to make sure people don't gotta go through the same crap we did. Doesn't matter if they think we're just or not. We gotta do what we believe in. It's not like people thinking much of me anyway.
All right.
I'm gonna dash through this the only way I know how. You got me out of prison, just like before. Thanks. You know, it's kind of embarrassing to say this, but I am real glad I met you. Alright, I'm done getting my ass kicked. This shiny bastard acts like some kind of god. I'm gonna feel good till we... I ain't gonna feel good till we deal with it.
Let's head out. We're gonna take down that asshole, yeah?
Oh, we only had one line that was voiced.
Hey.
You think the others are locked up in here too? Gotcha. Guess I'll just spend my time loafing around here then.
We'll be counting on you.
2 more. Yep, it is going to be Mona at the end. Oh, Joker! It looks like we're both still alive. Yeah, I'm glad you're safe, because you can't fight. Am I really safe, though? Shibuya! What happened to Shibuya? And where are we? I love how like, blatantly, oh, I'll tell you, and they're like, what? Velvet Room? That name sounds pretty kick-ass. I guess my fears turned out to be true. The real world's a pretty scary place. That's a great line from Futaba, because she was so afraid to go out in the real world. Pain like this can never reach you if you keep yourself cooped up indoors. I don't know, I think the tentacles could come in there too. Who am I to think I can tell people what to do? I mean, I used to be a shut-in myself. Damn it, I just want to go home. But even that would be tough now. Giving up would just be too painful. You know, I think I've changed. I don't really know when it happened, but I just can't let people suffer like this, even if I don't know them personally. Grown? Honestly, this all seems just like a bit much. But...
Oh yeah.
I've known the right answer from the very beginning. I don't want to run away from this. I ran away from Mom's death for so long, I misunderstood it. Everything was just too painful for me to handle. But I never want to be left in the dark again. That's probably why my persona is a little bit special. Because I want to learn the truth, and that's how I really feel.
Alright, let's do it!
Well, I've come this far. I'll follow you wherever you go, with my own 2 feet. Really, I figured that would be voice acted. You got such a strong heart, Joe. You saved me again. Thanks. I'm so happy. Like, so much I can't even express it in my normal words. Anyway, we're going up against a god, right? I couldn't even leave my own room before. We're gonna beat a god. I'm so pumped! Wait, I got out of here on my own.
Ta-da! A real jailbreak!
There you go. I was waiting for your voice acting.
Oh, you're quick to act. That's what makes you dependable. Alright, time to get back at it!
Not all of them. Seems you've managed to save all your teammates. Now, please gather in this room at once.
Huh? What?
I mean, was I the last one?
Huh?
What do you mean? You couldn't find him?
What is this place?
Where's Morgana?
Who are they?
My name is Igor.
My name is Igor.
I am the master of the Velvet Room.
I am Lavenza, a resident of this place as well. We have been waiting for all of you. Velvet Room? My master has just been released from a long period of imprisonment. His powers have not fully returned.
I wonder how long he was in prison. I still don't know how the heck they got him.
Though it may be presumptuous of me, I will speak on his...
Hey, where's Morgana?
Would you like to see him?
Yes? Of course we do.
He's right over there.
That's where you were hiding?
In the cell?
I was born here.
Well, have you been hanging out over there the whole time?
It was to dispel an evil being from man's spiritual world. Mona? My role was to find the trickster and help him defeat it.
That's why I was created here by my master.
Was it the actual Igor or the other Igor?
Indeed.
I really remember everything.
Can I have you as my velvet attendant in the next game? You're awesome.
When this place was about to be taken over, my master gathered the last traces of mankind's hope. He mustered up his remaining strength to make me.
The entity that calls itself a god is a malevolent will that forces man into everlasting servitude. It hopes to attain eternal peace by filling reality with those who have stopped thinking for themselves.
You can't have war if no one has any desires, because war is caused by people fighting over what they want.
That is the ruin of man that this evil god envisions.
I, don't get what you're saying at all.
Oh, be quiet and listen. We don't have much time left.
Well, there was the Justine part.
Wait a moment. The Holy Grail is a god? I was wondering why it had a will of its own, but are you implying that it isn't a treasure?
No. As the distorted desires of the masses, it is most certainly the core of Mementos itself.
Okay.
Then, did the treasure become a god because people wish to be ruled over?
That's an incredibly good, astute guess.
That is correct. To decide the fate of the world, it chose two people with potential and pitted them against each other.
Me and Akechi?
One, Goro Akechi, incited the masses' distortion. Had he won, the world would have been destroyed and remade.
So was he also bringing Akechi into the Velvet Room the whole time? Is that why Akechi had multiple personas, except that Akechi chose to master a few instead of all?
The other was a trickster who would stand up against this. That was him.
So yeah, I always said that we were actually both tricksters, because that's why his signature persona was Loki, the trickster god.
If he won, the human world would be left as is. Those were the conditions of the game. At least, that's what should have happened.
That malevolent being knew that a revolution would not occur within indolent humans.
I really like the term indolent.
After all, it is the masses' distorted desires incarnate. However, my true master believed in humanity.
And again, that's sort of why the fake Igor, or the Grail, or whatever you want to call it, actually started gunning for Kaizen at the end, because Kaizen set his sights on the Grail itself.
He believed that a trickster would rise among the people and accomplish this change. But that evil entity laughed at the prospect and sought to prove the powerlessness of man with the game. And he had great potential, which is why it approached him. It helped train the trickster only to cast him into despair, using the masses who rejected their savior.
Wow. I think the antagonist of Danganronpa could learn a thing or two from this one. I'm not going to say the antagonist's name, because I'm sure there's some people watching this who have not played Danganronpa, and I don't want to spoil anything. But, yeah, just suffice to say, that's a game all about very, very creative ways of causing despair.
This was likely its means to nip in the bud anything that would pose a threat. Now that I think back to when I was separated, I felt a disagreement to the word rehabilitation.
I always wondered about that too, because it implied that I had to be rehabilitated from something.
Of course I did. It was just a means for the fake to keep you under surveillance.
Basically, this guy was dragged into a game where the evil god rigged the outcome.
Damn it! What the hell?
Yeah, can we just get to where we beat him up now? I mean, like, the philosophy behind it is interesting, but at the same time, I can just imagine everyone else that has none of the background I do, and they're just like, oh.
Your real world has already been fused with mementos. You do not exist because reality is replete with the cognition of those who deny the phantom thieves.
So how do we get back to it?
It can be said that the world is one step away from the evil god's machinations.
Just one step? I thought it was already in the evil god's machinations.
However, there is still hope.
Of course there is.
Now that the evil god's identity has been exposed, you can see your rehabilitation to its
What am I being
completion.
rehabilitated from?
Only you can leave this prison and save this distorted world and its...
No, I need my
people.
friends. They have to come with me.
Young man, guided by Morgana and worthy of the trickster name, you must challenge the evil god and reclaim your existence in reality. Are you up to the task?
Reclaim my existence?
You'll be fine. You're not doing this alone.
I better not be.
You've got us, you know.
I better have you.
Excellent. There is nothing to fear. You already possess the strength to oppose this evil god. I am truly looking forward to this.
Me too.
Our mutual friend knows where the exit is. Morgana, please guide them. And thank you for all that you've done. It's a cruel responsibility that's been cast upon you.
I will accept your words of appreciation fully when everything is over. Now follow me!
Alright.
Joker!
Can I not fuse? Ah.
This way!
I'm following you, but I kind of want to make more personas now. Like, this better not take me straight to the boss. Man, what's this? It's one hell of a door. That's our exit. Come on, let's go.
Huh? We're back in Shibuya again?
Yeah, what did you do to make us not fade from existence?
Oh, right. This is where we were when our bodies disappeared.
Seems like people still haven't realized that this abnormality has taken over the city.
What can we do to not fade away?
Look, the door we just came through. If I remember correctly, this is that quarantine cell.
That makes sense that Igor was the, entity that was considered the most dangerous.
That's right. It was actually the Velvet Room, which had been swallowed by the distortions.
You did say you were born in there. It makes so much sense now.
Wait, so if we came out of there, does that mean we're the criminals?
Yeah, we are now the greatest threat to the Grail, which makes sense.
No, it's more like him, since he was kept in here.
Most likely, Joker had been under the malicious guidance of the evil god.
Why is Mona glowing?
The Velvet Room originally existed to nurture the human mind. But after it was taken over, it was sealed inside that bastard's nest. Inside mementos.
Mona? More
Yeah,
importantly-
why are you glowing?
You're shining.
Are you the Grail?
It's probably because my memories have returned. I know what my duty is
So,
now.
everyone that doesn't have amnesia glows? I haven't seen this.
Whoa. Do you see something? Shining? Wait a sec. What's with those weirdly dressed guys?
I feel like I've seen those costumes before.
Well, looks like humanity's noticed that we're here again.
Oh, aren't they the Phantom Thieves? I kind of remember seeing a silhouette of them on a jumbo screen in the city.
We should probably not stick around here, though.
The Phantom Thieves?
Oh yeah, that's right. I completely forgot about them.
This is different from how it was before. Do they see us?
Obviously they do, On.
It doesn't seem to be everyone, though. Only a handful of people in this large crowd.
It's enough to sustain us.
Maybe it's Kazumona's light.
Either way, they remember the Phantom Thieves.
Yes, but we still shouldn't stay here or they'll call the police.
Oh, the key of hope.
Mona, guide us. Where must we go?
Over there. The bastard from earlier should be in that temple.
So he also came up to the surface. Fantastic. Alright. And with that,
I'll just add this.
I'm going to go ahead and save. Next time, we fight the final boss and beat the game. Maybe a long episode, because assuming I can get the boss next episode, we're going to watch the entire ending. Oftentimes the ending takes some time, so get ready for a long one in the next one. Now I'm going to go into the Velvet Room, and I'm going to do what I can in order to make my personas good and prepared. See you then, guys. Thank you very much for tuning in. Not a robot, AI challenging you. I can't sing, sorry.
I'm giving a balance, but I'm standing on razor's edge now. One click on my life is